Welcome my dear learners for this course on Operations Research. This course Operations Research was evolved during Second World War. The credit should be given to England. The military officials of England given the task to the scientists of England to come up with a scientific technique which gives us the effective way to utilize the limited available resources. The scientists of England during the Second World War came up with a scientific approach to utilize the limited resources in the effective manner. So this lead to the course which is nothing but Operations Research. The Operations Research is a mathematical technique to get the optimum solution for many real life problems. Hence, the Operations Research came up with a proverb. Operations Research is nothing but an art of winning a war without actually fighting it. Even though there are many definitions for Operations Research, the best definitions what I came up with is Operations Research is an experimental science devoted to observe, understand and predict the behavior of purposeful man-machine systems. Operations Research is an experimental science devoted to observe, understand and predict the behavior of purposeful man-machine systems. Coming for very important aspects of Operations Research, let us discuss the phases of Operations Research and what are the different varieties of problems one can solve in this course of Operations Research, and also what are the limitations of Operations Research. So coming for the first topic, that is phases in Operations Research. Coming for phase 1, we will define the problem. Defining the problem. In phase 2, we will construct the mathematical model. In phase 3, we will get the solution. And then we should validate the model. And finally, we will implement it. As I said, Operations Research is a mathematical technique to get the optimum solution for many real life problems. So in phase 1, we will define the problem, that is, we will state the objectives of our problem and also the various constraints in it. For an example, let us consider I am a farmer, I want to grow sugarcane. I define the objective that what type of sugarcane I will grow, and also I want to maximize the profit. Subject to the constraints, I want to supply the fertilizers, I want to hire men for or laborers to cultivate, seed and harvest the sugarcane. So these are the constraints which are involved in producing the sugarcane and earning profit from it. So therefore, in phase 1 we will define the problem, that is, we will define the objective of our problem, whether we want to maximize the profit or minimize the loss, and also we will define the various constraints involved in it. Coming for phase 2, we will construct the model. That is, we will represent the given problem in the mathematical form. It is nothing but we will establish a mathematical model for the given problem, defining the objective and also the constraints. Here we will always formulate the problem as linear programming problems. And in phase 3, we will get the solution for it. To get the solution, we have various techniques. That itself is the syllabus for this course. I am going to explain about the various techniques for various problems what we are going to deal, and I will give you the syllabus of this course in this lecture itself. And the next phase is that we should validate the obtained results. Even though we cannot represent any problem exactly in the mathematical model, the inexact represented mathematical model, if the solution obtained is reasonably good, then we can validate it. What I mean to say is that inexact models producing the reasonably good solutions can be accepted. The reason why we cannot represent any problem exactly by using the mathematical model is because of the limitations of operations research, which I am going to explain. And finally, we want to implement it. The optimum solution what we are going to get using the operations research should be discussed with the managers or persons responsible for the implementation of this project, and finally we should recommend for the implementation. So this requires a very good coordination between the OR team and the managers who are going to implement it. Hence, implementation is also a limitation for operations research. If there is no good coordination between the OR team and the managers, then the model what we are going to present, it cannot be implemented. So these are the various phases involved in operations research. Next, coming for the various types of problems which we are going to encounter and which we can solve using operations research are: the first variety of problem is problems in which we know all the informations and also the output is also known to us. They comes under the category of complete certainty problems. Next, the second category of problems are problems with risk and uncertainty. And third category of problems are completely uncertain. Let us discuss one by one. Coming for problems which are completely certain. So in these categories of problems, we will know the information completely and also we can predict what is the output. This is somewhat like closed loop systems. So these type of problems can be solved by using simple mathematical techniques like algebra and calculus, etc. Coming for risk and uncertain problems. For risk and uncertain problems, we will have only some information about the problem and the output is probabilistic or it is completely uncertain. So therefore, this type of problems involves risk. And coming for third category of problem that are completely uncertain, for these categories of problems we don't know any information. And also the output is completely uncertain. We cannot predict what might be the output what we are going to get. So all these types of problems can be tackled by using operations research technique. Coming for risk and problems of uncertain, so these type of problems are encountered in research and development. So such problems can be tackled by using network analysis, that is critical path method and project evaluation and review technique, which I am going to explain in this course in detail. And coming for completely uncertain problems, these categories of problems can be addressed by using game theory. This game theory is also involved in our syllabus, so therefore we will also discuss the problems with completely uncertain and we will be discussing game theory in detail. So this is about the phases involved in operations research, and these are the varieties of problems which we are going to discuss and which we are going to give optimum solution by using operations research. And finally, coming for limitations of operations research. The limitations of operations research are: the first one is intangible factors. Next is type of problem. And next, it depends on reliability. And next we have the problems involved in phases itself, that is validation and implementation. Coming for the first limitation of operation research, that is intangible factors. The factors like emotions or qualitative factors cannot be involved or cannot be represented by using the mathematical model. So therefore we cannot represent the emotions, feelings or qualitative factors in the mathematical model. So therefore intangible factors are the limitations for operations research. Next, coming for type of problem. What I mean to say is that if a problem involves many factors or if a problem depends on many variables, for such problems we cannot tackle by using operations research, because all the factors, let us say I have 100 factors influencing a single problem, then it is very difficult to represent using mathematical model. So therefore, whenever we reduce the dependency of variables or number of variables are reduced in order to make the mathematical model simpler, then the solutions what we will get might not be the good agreement with the actual results. So therefore, problems having many variables or many influencing factors cannot be mathematically modeled. So therefore, type of problem is also a limitation for operation research. Next, coming for reliability. In case of reliability, in operations research we always formulate the problem as a linear programming problems. So therefore, the non-linear relationships existing in a given problem are represented by using the linear relationships. So therefore, the system will be disturbed. Here we are using only linear programming. The non-linear relationships are represented as linear relationships. So therefore, here also whenever you are solving a problems involving non-linear relationships, the optimum solutions what we will get might not be in good agreement with the actual results. This reliability limitation is because of linear programming. It is because of linear programming. Next, coming for the validation. So in this step of validation is done even though it is an inexact model. If we get the reasonably good agreement results, then we can validate the taken mathematical model, provided we have the previous available data for it, or for the system if we have the previous results or previous available data for the system, we can validate our results. If you don't have any information about the system, then it is very difficult to validate your mathematical model or the results what you are getting. So therefore, validation will become a big headache if you don't have the proper data or previous results with respect to the system what you are going to analyze. So therefore, validation is also a limitation for operations research. And finally, coming for implementation, whatever optimum model what you are going to present should be ultimately implemented. That is what the England scientists did during the Second World War. So during the Second World War, they have proposed the models for effective utilization of limited resources. The military peoples of England have implemented it. So similarly, here to implement this operation model, there should be a very good coordination between the OR team and the managers or person who is responsible for the implementation of that model. If there is no good coordination between the OR team and the person who is going to implement, then the complete time and amount spent will be going in vain. So therefore, there should be a good coordination between the operation research team and also the managers involved in implementation. Therefore, the implementation is also a limitation for operations research. So this is about the brief introduction for operations research. Let us discuss the syllabus of this course, what we are going to study in detail. Coming for the syllabus, in module 1, we will be discussing about formulation of linear programming for problems and graphical solution for these linear programming problems. in module 2, we will be discussing about analytical solutions for linear programming problems. LPP stands for linear programming problems. In module 3, we will be discussing about assignment problems and transportation problems. Coming for module 4, in case of module 4, we will be dealing with network analysis and queuing theory. And finally, in module 5, we will be studying about game theory and sequencing. So this is the complete syllabus of this course. So in our module 1, we will be formulating the linear programming problems and also we will be giving the graphical solutions for linear programming problems. In the sense, we will be using the graphical methods to solve the linear programming problems. Coming for module 2, we will give the solutions for linear programming problems by using analytical techniques, that is simplex method, dual simplex method, two-phase method, etc. And coming for module 3, we will be discussing about assignment problems, traveling salesman problems, and also we will be discussing about transportation problems. Coming for module 4, we will be discussing about network analysis, wherein which we will be presenting the techniques to solve the R&D problems, and also queuing theory. So this module addresses the problems in which we have risk and uncertainty in results. That is, the problems in which the results are probabilistic. And finally, we will be addressing the case 3 problems, that is problems having completely uncertainty. That is, we will be addressing game theory and sequencing. With this very brief introduction, let us move on and discuss the formulation of linear programming problem. As the name itself indicates, we should formulate the problem, which comes under the category of defining the problem and constructing the model. And also in module 1, we will get the solution for these problems by using graphical techniques. For formulating a given problem, so we will be having the problem with us, we should formulate it and obtain the solution. To formulate any given problem as a linear programming model, as I said, first we should define the objective. The objective function is maximizing the profit or minimizing the loss, and also we should come up with the constraints involved in it, and also keep that in mind. Always the variables should be positive. Always the variables should be positive. So with these 3 important note, that is, we should define the objective function, we should also define the constraints involved, and and the variables should be positive. With these very important 3 notes, let us learn how to formulate a given problem in this first lecture. Let us move on and solve our first problem on formulation. The problem number 1 on formulation of linear programming problems states that a manufacturer of furniture makes 2 products, chairs and tables. Processing of these products is done on 2 machines A and B. A chair requires 2 hours on machine A and 6 hours on machine B. A table requires 5 hours on machine A and no time on machine B. There are 16 hours of time per day available on machine A and 30 hours of time available on machine B. Profit gained by manufacturer from chair and table is rupees 100 and 500 respectively. What should be the daily production of each of the products? So if you observe the given problem, there is a manufacturer, he is producing 2 products, that is chair and table. To produce these 2 products, he is using 2 machines. Machines are A and B. Now, as I said, in formulation we should keep a note on 3 aspects. One is objective function, constraints or restrictions, and the variables should be positive. Now, coming for the variables, the two important variables are the number of chairs and tables. I can produce any number of chairs and any number of tables. Whether it is possible to produce any number of tables and any number of chairs is the question, because the resources available are limited. So therefore, OR is a scientific approach to obtain the optimum solution, that is to utilize effectively the limited resources available with us. So now we should propose a model which gives him the maximum results or maximum profit. Here he is selling chairs and tables, so therefore by selling chair and table he should earn profit. So therefore our objective function is to maximize the profit of the manufacturer of furnitures. And constraints are constraints with respect to machines, that is machine A and machine B. Now objective function involves what he is producing, what are the products. The products are chairs and tables. So therefore under the category of products we have chairs and tables. The products are chairs and tables. Now let us assume the chairs as x1 and tables as x2. He is asking us what is the daily production of x1 and x2. How many chairs and tables can be produced in a single day by using machine A and machine B, provided the constraints are 30 hours of time is available on machine B and 16 hours of time is available on machine A per day. So now the constraints are time is the biggest constraint. So this time constraint is given for machine A and machine B. Now coming for the profit, that is the objective function. If I sell one chair, I can earn, in the sense the manufacturer can earn 100 rupees. If he sells one table, he can earn 500 rupees. So therefore, the objective function will become maximization of, that is maximize, let us take the objective function as Z. So Z stands for objective function. So maximize the profit, that is you will gain 100 rupees by selling one chair. So therefore by selling x1 number of chairs you will get 100 into x1 rupees. Similarly for each table you will gain 500 rupees of profit. So therefore it is 500 times x2. So this represents the total profit. So this profit should be maximized. So this objective function is depending on the constraints are subjected to the constraints. The first constraint is available time on machine A and available time on machine B. Now if you clearly observe, to manufacture chairs on machine A, it requires 2 hours, whereas to manufacture table on machine A, it requires 5 hours. So therefore, coming for time constraints of chairs and tables on machine A and machine B, on machine A, he requires 2 hours to produce one chair. On machine B, he requires 6 hours of working. Coming for tables, he requires 5 hours of working on machine A and no time on machine B. Whereas we know that machine A is available only for 16 hours whereas machine B is available for 30 hours per day. So if I write the constraint for machine A with respect to time, a chair requires 2 hours on machine A, that is 2x1, and a table requires 5 hours on machine A plus 5x2. But the maximum time available is 16 hours. We cannot exceed 16 hours. So therefore, this must be less than or equal to 16 hours. So this is the constraint with respect to machine A. Coming for machine B, a chair requires 6 hours on machine B, so therefore it is 6x1. The tables does not require machine B at all, so therefore 6x1 is less than or equal to 30. This is because of the reason the maximum availability is 30 hours. So this is the constraint with respect to machine A, and this is the constraint with respect to machine B. Now the third important note I said is that all the variables should be positive. So therefore x1 comma x2 should be positive. So this is the mathematical formulation for the given problem, and this is the answer for the given problem. So always to formulate any given problem, one should keep that in mind. The first thing is the objective function, the second thing is the constraints, and third is the variables must be always positive. Here the variables are chairs and tables, that is x1 and x2. So objective function is always maximization of the profit or minimization of the loss. So here we are selling chairs and tables, so therefore I should maximize the profit. And the constraints are depending on machine A and machine B, where the available time is the biggest constraint here. So based on the available time of machine A and machine B, we have laid down the constraints. That's all from this lecture. Thank you.